So, welcome Akshay to
Yeah,
our community of practice, which is called Beyond Differences. So basically, we are here today to learn a little bit more about your experiences, from your childhood till now. And yeah, we're just going to have a little candid conversation. So thank
yeah.
you for taking time out to be with us.
Yes, yes. It's a real pleasure.
Thank you, Akshay. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to spotlight Akshay and me for now, if that's all right with everybody.
Yeah,
So that, yes, there are no distractions as well. Okay. So, Akshay, can you
yes.
share a little bit about yourself? Okay. A little introduction about yourself to everyone here.
Uh, so a warm welcome to everyone here. My name is Akshay Shanbhag, and I'm a final year physics student at IISA Pune. Currently doing a project in electronics and connecting it with gravimetry and atom interferometry. So and I'm also a drummer, doing it for the past 11 years, and occasionally do yoga and a bit of singing as well in terms of Middle East. So a warm welcome to you everyone, whoever is present here.
Thank you, Akshay. Thank you so much. So,
Thank you. Welcome to you too.
yes.
Yeah,
All right. So, Akshay, you have told us that you have been diagnosed with autism, right?
yeah.
Yes. So, can you describe autism in your own words? What is your understanding of autism?
Well, it's a kind of a neurological disability,
Mhm.
and I think it has got nothing to do with an illness or disease, I would have to say.
Right. Okay. And thank you for clarifying that. I think that is a really, really important thing that you mentioned, that it is not because of some illness or some disease. Right. Thank you for that. All right.
Yes.
So, can you share some of your unique strengths or perspectives? Because I remember you talking about this when you had come to school, you had come to Vidya Valley, and you were talking about autism, and you were telling the children about how you see things with a different perspective. So, can you just share a little bit about that with all of us?
Okay, so maybe I can come from an advantage point of view. I think these people get more opportunities in their life, I think, to perform on the stage, or I think any such similar opportunity, I would have to say. And when it comes to competitive examinations,
Mm-hmm.
that advantage they get is a lower cutoff.
Mm-hmm. Okay. All right. So do you think that you have had that advantage sometimes? Has that helped you in a way?
Yes, definitely. I would say I think the IIT entrance exam, which I had done last, say around 5 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
if I was in general, I would have not cleared it at all. But I think
Okay.
uh, clearing it in with the Persons with Disability Initiative, I think yes, definitely it would have been possible.
All right. But I'm definitely sure that you have put in a lot of effort to, clear the entrance. So it's no easy task, even if you do have a quota that you got in with. So congratulations to you on that.
Yeah, yeah, thank you. And uh, it also requires immense preparation, because if you are not prepared first up, you might be in trouble. Like it requires that foundation basically. Like you have to start it. People usually prefer to start it in their school itself. Like
Right.
for example, eighth standard.
Hmm.
But
So,
sometimes it can also be risky,
okay.
because I think putting school studies at risk is uh, can be problematic.
All right.
You can end up declining your percentages in your school studies, I would say.
Okay.
which can be risky.
All right. But I think you managed pretty well. I think you managed to balance out school and your external examinations pretty well, plus your co-curriculars.
Yes, I feel it is necessary to balance, because if you don't end up balancing, you might end up with stress, and it's what is not justified in
Mm-hmm.
your character.
Absolutely. Thank you for sharing that, Akshay. So I'll move on to the next question. Yeah.
Yes.
Right,
Next
please?
question. Next
Yes.
question.
So, Akshay, can you tell us what is a typical day? How does it look like for you? And how do you navigate any challenges that you may have?
So far, I think till September, I used to always work on the campus.
Mm-hmm.
Usually, I, but on 3 days a week, do compulsory yoga.
Lovely. Okay.
And usually at that time, I used to report in the lab by around 11.
Mm-hmm.
But before reporting to the lab, I always do drumming before coming to the lab.
Lovely.
Because sometimes what happens is later in the evening, people usually take it. Other people come and grab it.
You mean the room, the space where you practice?
The space where I play.
Ah, okay. So in the morning, you get time to do your drumming.
Yeah, in the morning, I get a lot of time to do it.
Okay. And in your routine, does anyone usually help you, or do you manage to do everything on your own?
I think independently. But I think for now, at my home, I usually get up and do some of the required chores, whichever is needed.
Okay.
As of, like, for example, uh, putting the milk and all in the vessel, and then taking a bath and all there.
Okay, wonderful. So you also help around the house, help your mom and dad in the house.
Yes. Uh, yeah, but and then now, since this is the World Cup, I always look at the matches as well.
Ah, yes, of course. I think everyone's pretty involved in the World Cup matches these days.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. Thank you, Akshay. So now that I know that you told me that you
And
had, yes, sorry, tell me,
yeah,
Akshay.
yeah, and then in the evening, also I play the drums. Now I do it in the evening rather than morning. So if you can see the drum set, I would say it is. I'll just bend down my camera a little
Yes,
bit.
yes,
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, yeah. See, it's right. Oh,
Your video is gone off. Ah, okay.
yeah. There you can. Yeah, there you can see it.
Oh, you've got it there right in your room. Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and
Lovely.
it's a real opportunity to see the kit in the frame.
Yes, absolutely. Maybe we can get you to play one little beat later if that's okay with you.
Actually, in the interest of time, I would say I would not prefer, but
Okay,
maybe I can send one sample to you
absolutely. That would be lovely. We'd love to hear that.
of me performing live, one of singing and one of drumming as well.
Perfect. That would be really great. And thank you. I appreciate you, being mindful of the time. So based on that, can I go to the next question, or would you like to
Yes.
talk a little bit more?
I think next question we can go to.
Okay, sure. All right. So we do know, like, people with autism like to have structure in their lives, right?
Yes.
So can you tell us a little bit about some routines that make you feel comfortable, in your daily life? Is there something that, you follow regularly to keep you a little grounded?
I think drumming every day might help,
Hmm.
because that will, I think, help reduce any stress, I would say, that I might overcome someday.
Okay. So what you're saying is drumming every day basically helps you feel a little better if there's any shift in the routine
Yes,
that may
yes,
cause you any stress.
yes.
All right, wonderful. And how long do you normally drum for? Like, is it like a fixed amount of time, or it depends on your mood?
it depends on the song also. What I play depends on the difficulty of the song. It depends on everything. So yeah,
Okay.
but I usually don't take an hour, more than an hour to do.
All right. Okay. Lovely. Thank you, Akshay. Um, Now, when you're interacting with people in your college, you're interacting with society and generally, a lot of other people. Are there anything in society, or is there any cues in society that you find challenging? Where sometimes you feel a little confused about the situation, or you know, like when you're maybe interacting with your friends in class, in college.
Yeah, it depends on the person as well.
Okay.
It can be a situation wherein someone denies me from hurting an animal,
Mm-hmm.
and then I respond with doing something weird,
Okay.
or
Like,
or by any chance using somebody's things without their permission, or making someone uncomfortable, especially if it is a female colleague.
okay. So, so what do you do in that case? How do you navigate that?
See, to navigate has not been the easiest of tasks, because once I have done wrong,
Mm-hmm.
uh, it has been decided that any complaint
Okay.
that is to be raised, that is to
Okay.
be sent to the counselor. I think the same story has been with Vidya Valley and Orchid School as
Okay.
well,
Okay.
because I'm sure Nalini ma'am would also know this pretty well.
She's there
And
on the call, yes.
yes, yeah, yeah, I'm pretty sure she knows about this
Okay.
strategy.
Okay. So when you go to the counseling department at your college, then you're able to manage yourself better, and then
Yeah,
you
it's taking time. It will take its own time, but yes, eventually, yes.
Okay. So do you also do counseling outside of college, and other, like personally, do you go privately as
Outside, yeah, till for now, till I think third year I used to go, but then
Mhm.
now I think we have stopped. Only for job offers, I think we are doing counseling.
Okay, so you're in career counseling now.
Yeah, we are in the career counseling mode here.
Okay, wonderful. That's great to hear that. Okay. So, since you told us about the challenges that you sometimes face, what advice do you give? We're a group of people over here. What advice would you give all of us on how to build positive relationships with people on the autism spectrum? How can we make things easier for, people on the spectrum?
So I think to improve relationships in Orchid School, I think a counselor said that two people wanted to be friends with me. So yeah, I think that's where I got it. So
Okay.
I think I must give credit to that counselor of Orchid, and I think now she's no longer a part of Orchid, but she does a lot of podcasts.
Okay.
So I must credit Mansi Chandorkar ma'am
Yes.
for doing this,
Wonderful.
because I think uh, they have been an integral part of maintaining relationships.
Mhm.
One thing I would one tip I would like to give is, if you could involve counselors, that will be good.
Okay.
Because
Sure.
I think even in Vidya Valley also, if you have heard of arts-based therapy,
Yes.
as I pointed out in my visit to Vidya Valley,
Yes.
I think that also helped to maintain relationships quite easily.
All right. So if anyone were to come up to you and say, let's be friends, Akshay, so how would you react to that?
Uh, I could accept it anytime. Yes, I'll be ready to accept it.
Mm-hmm.
Although it it will depend, but how long it will last, it could depend on how the person is, the nature of the person is.
Of
Because I think that counselor in Orchid knows those two persons, because I think those two persons have been were a part of Orchid for a longer time.
Okay.
While I was just a newcomer that time, and she knew those two people are on the autism spectrum, to be very honest.
Okay. So do you have a lot of friends who are on the autism spectrum?
Yes, I would have to say yes. I have plenty of them who are on the autism spectrum, and I think the jamming session has helped me, which I will mention later.
Yes.
That has also helped me to build
more friendships.
Yes, better relationships, if not friendships.
Okay, better relationships. Okay.
I would say.
Lovely. All right. Thank you for that, Akshay. So now like society, like in society, how can society become more inclusive and understanding of individuals with autism? What is your advice? What do you think society should?
As I mentioned about inclusion with Mansi, the podcast, as I talk
Yes.
of, I think the way is to spread awareness
Mm-hmm.
about inclusion, and I think the same person has created good awareness, because there are four things she has pointed out: inclusion, exclusion, integration,
Mm-hmm.
and I think segregation.
Okay.
I think so. I think she mentions about the four things,
Mm-hmm.
and then tries to differentiate between them with the help of a diagram.
Okay. Okay.
And I think a few years ago, some Vidya Valley students also approached me, and they came up with their wonderful project. I
Mm-hmm.
think I think eighth standard students they were,
Yes.
and they came up. They came and approached me with some wonderful questions that I had to answer, and I had to write in some document.
Okay. Lovely. So you think that by talking about it, like you did the podcast with Mansi, or like have been writing these documents with students from school, do you think that's going to help spread awareness about inclusion? Do you think?
Hopefully, yes. I think the hope is on all of Vidya Valley, I would have to say, because uh, from a student's point of view, to get a lot of questions is never an easy task for them.
Hmm.
I
True.
don't think it was an easy task when I opened the document.
Right. So you had a lot of thinking to do when you had to fill it out.
Yes. So I think a lot of time. It did take me time to fill all the questions. So yeah.
All right. So you were talking about, in your introduction, you had mentioned that you have created a magazine, right?
Yes.
So do you also do a lot of advocacy for autism awareness or neurodiversity? Like, do you talk about, different learning challenges and stuff like that?
Not exactly. We try and get. Our aim is to get as many people of these categories as we can.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I think the aim is to spread joy
Yes,
and pride in them.
absolutely.
And why I started this in the COVID-19 pandemic is because these people are the most affected.
Hmm.
And yeah, and a survey also reads even women are affected in the pandemic.
Correct. Correct. Okay, how was your experience during the pandemic? I mean, I know I'm going off the questions I sent you, but would you like to answer that? Then we.
Uh, I'll have to I'll try and wrap it up this question. But I think it can be tough, it can be hard, but even when you celebrate birthdays or so, we still use technology to use, as the World Health Organization mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I've done a lot of virtual birthdays of my batchmates of ISER
Mm-hmm.
and family as well,
Mm-hmm.
which is a good idea.
Yes, and you're planning another surprise party, so I think you're quite an expert now.
Yeah, yes.
All right, lovely. Thank you, Akshay. We do have one more question, but I think we're going to wait for Manasvi when she joins us.
Yes, yes.
So, Akshay, in the meanwhile, would it be okay if anyone from the audience says, would like to share anything? Can I open it out to the audience? Would that be okay with you?
Yes, surely, surely. And then I think we can pause the recording. That'll be good.
Okay. In case there are any questions from the audience, and then it could be part of the recording, if that's all right with you. Akshay, is that all right with you?
Yes, definitely.
All right. So if anyone in the audience would like to say something, share something, or ask Akshay a question. Okay, Ashmita, I'm just gonna spotlight you. All right.
No, don't do that. It's too bright. The conversation's too bright. Don't spotlight me.
We must, Akshay should know who he's talking to.
Yes, definitely. Definitely.
So, hi Akshay again, and wonderful questions, Karishma. I really like the flow, and it gave us a very good insight on Akshay and how his journey has been, and what is he doing now, because I think where he is now is what matters a lot. So Akshay, I'm also a special educator for around 13 years, and I've been
Yes,
working very closely with LD children and autistic children, and
yes,
I have a habit of taking notes. So I have written a few things.
yeah,
So I'll just quickly I have one question for you, but before that, I want to highlight three important words that you mentioned in your
yes,
conversation: hope, joy, and pride.
yes,
And I have written it. If you can see, I've written it and bubbled it. Um,
yes, definitely.
so I really love these words that you've written. I think the point of the meeting today is really sums it up in these three words. But my
Yes,
question to you is, I currently work with students of secondary school, and
yes,
I do not have any autistic children, but in the primary phase, there are many autistic students who are growing up and coming into the secondary phase right now.
yes,
So if you have one or two suggestions for them, uh,
yes.
you know, preferably one academic suggestion and one personal suggestion, if you can share, how can they gain confidence? How can they be at a place where you are today?
I think, yeah, this is a very interesting question, I would say. But I think if we have a chat to the teachers through the counselors, I think that will help. If the parents use this opportunity wisely, I think that will help. So the same thing has happened with me from Vidya Valley to Orchid. So we highlighted the disability that I have, the problems that I face, and I think we managed to do it in both schools at least. And anyways, they have an open day as well. So yeah, I think that open day also can do the trick, because open day also you get an opportunity to meet the counselors.
True. I really like the word, even how you stressed a lot on counseling support. And I think that has really helped you. And right? Is that so?
Yes.
Yeah. So I think that's definitely what we do in our school as well, where the counselor comes in, especially because I think they have a magic wand. They have some strategies which we cannot think of, and they just do whoosh, and situation is quite control. So this was a very, very good tip and advice. Can I ask you one quick question? Sorry, you want to share something?
Yeah, you can ask. Yeah, one more quick question. But before that, I wanted to say that this is one of the tips. But if you are looking for even more better tips, I think I can have a word with my parents, and I can get back to you, because I think my mom is a teacher, and my mom's sister is also a teacher. So I think uh, they will have a more better understanding of dealing with autistic kids.
Correct.
But I think one strategy from my end is just about being stern and handling them with care.
Correct.
Okay, so I think I'll just have a word with them, and if you have any more questions regarding this, yeah, if you want to go even more deep into that, I'll have a word with them, and I can get back to you, because they know better about how the special needs individuals are handled.
Correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So taken care of, yes, definitely. And I think when you can of course share whatever you have with your parents as well, and I'll be happy to hear more, because I feel this is still a growing community, and the more people we interact with, that many different perspectives and mindsets we come across.
Yes,
So that's
yes.
definitely really nice, you know. And in fact, you answered my second question. My second question was, how can a family support an autistic student? Now you're a young man. Yeah. I mean, that's what you are, right? You're 20, 21, I'm guessing, right?
Yes, yes.
Yes. So you're a young man now. So from your childhood journey until now, how impactful and influential has your family been? So what
Hmm.
are the tips that you think other parents should be doing? But you also mentioned now that you said to be stern and to handle with care.
Yeah. I think because at 1.8, when I was diagnosed, I think I had no speech that time. But then I had done a speech therapy at Umeed in Mumbai, which is a non-profit organization, and I think they referred to a speech therapist, and then with that speech therapist, uh, they actually gave her name, and then so her name is, I think, Mrs. Palak Parekh, and I think with that speech therapy, I gained speech very easily, and then I picked up also rapidly without any, without breaking a sweat.
I love the language that you use, the figurative language without breaking any sweat. It's so nice. It's really nice.
Yes.
Nice. So, okay, I'll give Karishma, because I think she's clapping. I thought you had a question. But yeah, if anybody else would like to share or ask any question, because I have a few more, but I can wait. And of course, I'll give anybody else a chance. Sorry, I will zip up. Thank you, Akshay, for your answers.
Yeah. You're most welcome.
Yeah, thank you, Ashmita. Yes, maybe we can bring you back later, because Manasvi is already here, but we do have one question from one of our audience. Can I quickly ask you that? I know Manasvi is waiting, and I know you're keeping track of time, Akshay.
Yeah, definitely.
One question. Okay, so someone in the audience, she has a grandson who's 15 and who's on the autistic spectrum, and she wants to know, like, have you ever dealt with any anger issues, because he is facing a few anger issues, being 15, and did that happen with you, and if it did, how did you manage it? Can you please share a little bit?
I think once, because let me tell you, it can be any cause, it can be any incident. Because I think what happened is, I had damaged a CPU of my lab
Oops, okay.
in a bid to complete my thesis,
Mm-hmm.
and then you feel like hurting yourself, and then I was intending to do that.
Okay.
So I had inserted a wire in the CPU, and then it blasted.
Oh my God. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, is that because you were irritated or frustrated? That's why you did that, is it?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So do you have these kind of outbursts regularly? Does it happen that you can't control the emotion?
I think in August to October it was happening very frequently, but now we have to find ways to slow
Yes.
it down, because sometimes it cannot be very easy, because anytime any situation can come, we have to be prepared for it. And because if we are not prepared for it, we could get into trouble, and yeah, so hence it required more of counseling. So one tip I would like to give is, if he is working on this, then I think counseling is going to do wonders, I feel.
Okay.
And more of exercise, because as I mentioned, I do yoga. So yeah, I think if he does some sort of a physical activity like yoga, or I think any form of exercise.
Drumming. Yeah, but your drumming also, I'm sure, helps release
Drumming, yes.
pressure.
Yes, drumming also.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have any, like, if you're supposing feeling a little anger at this moment, or do you do anything to calm yourself down? Like, do you have any tip? Like, do you count or do you breathe? Or is there something that you try?
Well, so far I have always been going at the wrong end of it. But I think the counselors recommend breathing, or I think drumming also can help, or
Mhm.
whatever thing can be a stress buster. Like, for example, whatever they like. Like, for example, if they want to have a listen to music, or if they want to, do anything that calms them down.
Okay. So what I hear is that basically find something that calms you down. It could be anything, right? From breathing
Yes,
to counting to basically we need to find out what makes you feel better, right?
yes, yes.
Thank you, Akshay. I think that was really helpful. And
Yeah.
yeah, maybe we can ask this, he's a young boy, he's 15 years old. Maybe he can connect with you someday on social media or something, and you can talk.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay. Thank you.
So I think we can pause the record, stop the recording. That will be good, because we can do it in parts.
Yes. Okay. So what I'll do is I'll pause it for a minute because Manasvi is here, and then we'll get her on, and then I'll restart it. So yes, I'll just pause it for a. Okay, welcome, Manasvi. Thank you so much for taking time out to be with us this evening. I know that you had other commitments, and that's why you joined a little later. But we're really, really honored to have you here with us. And even Sen Gupta ma'am is here, so maybe she can shout out to you afterwards. All right. So
Awesome.
yeah, so we'll jump right in. Are you ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, Manasvi, I know that you're a pianist, you're a singer, but can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your journey so far?
Okay. So I just graduated college this year, and would you like to know about what journey exactly? Would you like to know about my education and work journey, or musical journey, or
Whatever you feel like sharing with all of us. What part of you would you like to tell us?
hmm? Okay. I guess there are questions coming in later about education and work. So I can, oh, as per my musical journey, like since you mentioned about it first,
Yes.
so yeah, I grew up playing the piano and singing, and I grew up playing classical piano, actually, Western classical, and like I grew up doing the Trinity grade exams. So I started mm, my formal start to piano was when I was 7, but like as in I had started to try and play before that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was more for fun. Like I would say, when I was trying to do I had tried and failed, but to try and do Hindustani vocals. I had tried to do that, but it was not really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I um but at that time, like, sometimes on the harmonium I would attempt to play some stuff, or like even at home, but like these are things that I vaguely remember.
Oh.
What I do remember clearly is getting my piano on my seventh birthday, and then just playing around with it. Like it was like a toy piano. It was like a very tiny thing, like
Mhm.
about just mm, yeah, it was pretty small. And so yeah, then I started taking classes, because apparently, like, I had potential. That was what I was told. So I started taking classes, and I realized, like, this is something I could do, and this is something I could be pretty good at. So like, I could pick things up quickly, and like, I would just love to play stuff, even stuff I've not played before. It was like things came easy to me. So then I started, giving exams and stuff, for piano.
Right.
And as for singing, I was like definitely quite a shower singer, but vocal lessons was not something I started until way later.
Okay.
I didn't even know that, singing was something that, my parents didn't know that singing was something I could do until like and like actually like take seriously until I was like 16.
Oh,
When he went to a music school, so like I started singing more. So like I would I would play piano and sing at school for school performances and stuff,
uh-huh.
but taking singing more seriously. So like when I was when I was 16, I went to visit these schools,
Mm-hmm.
and these music schools, and I sang in front of them, and they seemed to like it. So then that's when my parents realized, that I could study singing, and that um that
How it
like
all. Yeah.
mhm. They found out that the vocals is actually like a subject art in the schools, and so singing was also something that I got into a bit. And as for songwriting, I
Mm-hmm.
had been like songwriting sort of secretly since I was around like in my early teens.
Mm-hmm.
um and but like I didn't really even show the world my songwriting until one day I decided to surprise the world. Yeah, my family was not expecting it. They were so shocked. I'm so like I just told them that I was gonna be doing a cover of a song,
Uh-huh.
but actually in reality I was going to be performing my audition for the first time, and they had no idea I was even into songwriting.
Oh, wow.
So
Well, that was a
so
pleasant surprise for them.
yeah, that was a huge surprise. They were not expecting it at all. Honestly, like everyone's jaw was on the floor.
Wow.
And yeah,
Alright.
and like since then I had it in mind to release my music, and now I have a song out, and it's called Backup Girl, so it's out everywhere. You can check it on YouTube and Spotify. Just a shameless self promo here.
No, you must. No, in fact, Akshay did tell me about your song. So what I can do is I can maybe send the link into the chat, and then people can listen to your song later, right?
Yes, definitely.
Yes, it's called Backup Girl by Manasvi. So please check it out on Spotify. Yes, I'm also very happy to promote your
Yeah.
song.
Uh,
Yes.
Ma'am, let me
Yes.
tell you that we are also going to perform this song live as well, both of us.
Wow, where, when?
January.
Please invite me.
Yeah,
If
yes.
possible. Okay.
Before you were going to say something. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you. Thank you for that, Akshay. Okay. So, Manasvi, is it okay if I go to the next question?
Yes, I'm done.
Okay. So, can you describe a typical day for you? Oh, Ankit, one of our members in the audience, has already seen your video on YouTube. That's so cool. Thank you, Ankit. He's just sent a message in the chat. Oh,
Wow,
thank
that's great. Yeah.
Thank you, Ankit. All right. So, Manasvi, can you tell us a typical day in your life, and how do you navigate your daily routine generally?
Hmm. So yeah, we so right. Sorry, I got carried away with something else. Okay, so my daily routine. It really depends. So back when I was like in college, I mean, I would just uh get up and do my everyday thing
Mhm.
wasn't much. So basically, just completing assignments, or basically whatever needed to be completed, or and just waiting and just killing time. And after that, like, well, I work is something that's sort of on and off. Like, I mean, I started working for a bit, but and then I stopped working. But in the evenings, I do on like twice a week at music club. I do teach. I'm a piano teacher at music club. So yeah. So there's that. Actually, it's on Wednesdays and Sundays. So I actually came from my piano class. So
Okay, but thank you so much for adjusting and joining us.
yeah, actually it got over like at 7.
So you managed.
So I came home. Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
It
that's how you usually spend your day. Well, now you finished your studies and now you're only doing these piano classes, right? Or are you studying some more? Or what is
well,
it?
after graduating college, I had worked at my parents' office for a bit, and also taught in the evenings, which the reason why I had to stop was because of travel concerns.
Mm.
My parents' office was very far from the place I was teaching, so it always like sort of twice a week going there. Like it took a while to to
Yeah, then it's quite tiring also, no?
yes,
Yeah.
that's why.
Okay.
Um, and now mainly what I do is just just try to work on whatever work I've been given, like say musically or otherwise. So like just to like occupy my time. So like and so I've been doing a lot of gigs and stuff lately, so especially lately. So I've been working on stuff for a lot of gigs.
Oh,
So
wow. Okay. So I'm sure you have many more singles coming out, and I think a lot of us are going to be really excited. We're going to subscribe so we can check it out when it releases. All right. So I'm just going to move ahead. Okay. So
yeah.
talking, I just want to get into, social situations. So can you tell us a little bit about, how you navigate social experiences, like when you're going out and interacting with others? Can you just tell us a little bit about what has been your experience and, you know, any
Hmm.
challenge? Yeah.
Okay. So growing up,
Mhm.
uh, I felt like, I mean, that there are times when I used to feel growing up like I didn't really have friends. I just had people who felt like they were obligated to be with me. It felt kind of clear that way. Like it kind of felt like they were just talking with against their will or something. But then again, I mean, uh, uh at the time people listen, they want to deal with me. When it comes to social situations, I guess I would say like now things are different.
Okay.
Sometimes I'm very introverted, sometimes I'm very extroverted. It really depends on the situation.
All right.
Uh, so depending on um
Situations or people.
yeah. Yeah, so like depending on how comfortable I get with the people
Okay.
and stuff.
All right. So now, would you say that you have, like you said, when you were younger, you didn't really have too many friends, but would you say that now you do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Definitely. Like sometimes there are times when like I sort of to tell people that hey, I got invited by 3 people for lunch today, and like 3 groups of people, and like I'm sort of like saying up like a bit but I mean yeah, I have my introverted moments and my extroverted moments. Like there are times when like I don't go out into large settings where settings of people, like if there are too many people who are like where there is a lot of age gap, like between me and everyone else, I don't exactly get along too well. Like I mainly stay quiet, um and like
Yeah,
uh
yeah, that happens. I mean, we don't get along, the wavelength doesn't match, right?
mhm.
Okay. And what kind of social interactions do you really enjoy? So what's your ideal, fun time with your friends?
Hmm. Could be anything. It could be like just chatting, eating, watching movies, then like,
Hanging out.
singing, of course, like, singing, jamming, like, a lot of my friends, like, like they tell, like, a lot of my friends, they tell me that
Mhm.
that when they see me, they just feel like singing, and so they just start singing, because like, I know, because
Wow, that is so beautiful.
apparently I give off that kind of vibe, that people just feel like singing around me more for some reason.
Yeah, I heard.
And so like we just start singing and singing, and then we can go on for hours, like, all kinds of songs, and
Wow,
like we just have the best time.
sounds lovely. Lovely. Thank you for sharing that, Manasvi. So, just a few more questions, and then I'm gonna get Akshay back on. So are there any tips for, where a few of us in the audience, there are about 10 of us in the audience, uh, what what do you think, that we can all do to make it more supportive and more inclusive? Your point of view, what do you think society can do to be more supportive?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the first things that come to mind. Okay, so when it comes to these kind of sort of social situations as well. So
Mm,
when it comes to watching movies, I would, we really appreciate it if things were actually described a lot, like more, like instead of like, say you are you are giggling with the person next to you about something visual that went on to the movie, and I have no idea about it,
right,
but then, like, once that's, sort of not exactly explaining the joke, but explaining what's going on, so we get the joke,
right.
and things like that, because then a lot of the times us blind people, no pun intended, we're left in the dark. So i mean pun fully intended, but yeah,
I like your sense
there's
of
that.
yes. Yes, someone has written audio description of visual scene. Yes, Rishabh. So would that help? Like if there's an
Yes,
audio
yes,
of the visuals.
yes,
Okay.
yes,
Oh,
and also when you're like posting photos and stuff on your Instagram, adding image descriptions, so basically adding what's known as alt text, so
hmm.
like, when you're actually making the post, you'll actually find that setting, like, you know
Right.
so that can be, also something that, like,
Right.
all the social media platforms actually have that feature inbuilt, or if not, you can even just write it in the caption,
Hmm.
or even, or if you're not comfortable with that either, then you can even just describe it privately to the person, but, so like, describing more visual things that are going on, like describing photos, and as for other things, like, just, I guess, being mindful of,
Mm-hmm.
mm, certain activities, and like sometimes, reasons people do or don't do things, like, I cannot think of a specific example at the moment, but um being mindful of what kind of activities you do, and sort of keeping that in mind according to the specific disability,
Okay.
so it's so people don't feel left out, all of a sudden, like, like you hear of many stories, like, for example, for a wheelchair user, for example, they
Mm-hmm.
often go on very inaccessible trips, and like,
Right.
you know uh this is and me, for example,
Yes.
we my family used to do like a lot of sightseeing, and a lot of the times I used to get bored,
Right.
like, because I don't know, like, what these people are referring to when they're seeing all these meanings and stuff. So that, I mean, these are just, some general things.
Right. Right. Well, thank you for this because I think it's really important, for the majority of society to know, to understand that, there are these little things that we could do, but can make such a big difference, you know. And
True. Yeah.
thank you for, sharing so candidly about all this. And if you would, I mean, I know that you are a lot into advocacy for, different types of disabilities. So what kind of initiatives do you normally engage with? Would you like to just share with us?
Yeah, so I'm actually the co-founder of a community called Access for Everyone.
Mhm.
And so it was started by me and this friend of mine whose name is also Manasvi, but she's sighted actually.
Okay.
So basically, our aim, our mission is to to create and to build a more inclusive world, to make the world more inclusive by as for now, we have just been creating posts for awareness of disability related issues, say stuff that comes in the news, and or like say disability news, or uh you know
Okay.
we talk about important topics such as inspiration porn, and important, like say explaining disability terminology,
Right.
and so
Okay. And
mm,
you do this,
things like that.
so do you do this on an online platform? Do you,
Ye-
or do,
yes, because we're all based in like different places.
okay.
So and we keep hiring people
Mhm.
short term and long term as well. So
Oh,
that's mm, mm.
that
We
is
are like a non-profit, right? So it's not like a monetary thing, but like we do it for fun. Like we do it because we want to, because it's important for us to spread awareness and to let the world know like how things actually work for us, and why we feel the way we do about certain things.
right. Okay, that's lovely. So maybe later on I can take the details and share it with our community over here, if that's all right with you. We would love to, help spread the word of the good work that you're.
Yes.
Yeah, that would be
Yes, and yeah. Soon, our aim later on is to do more on ground work in the sense that like maybe we can work towards making sure like reviewing places, making sure they're more accessible,
right.
making the education system more accessible. I do sometimes engage in some it happens occasionally, but I'm hoping to do it more often. But basically in taking part in webinars, so and giving speeches. So like recently I had given a speech at the Kaveri group of education institutes. So that includes the Kalmadi school,
Right.
etc. And so I spoke in front of a lot of teachers, principals, senior management of these institutes, and I spoke about how to make the education system more accessible, and like why you
Mm,
should make the importance of accessibility in general, and how it must be there by design, and
right.
so things like that. So
Okay. That is lovely to hear and to know. And please do, I mean, we can take this offline, but I think our community of practice also would, be happy to help you out in your cause in whichever little way we can. We'd be happy to. I think I'm speaking for my entire team, but I think we all have similar thoughts. But thank you so much, Manasvi, for this. I'm gonna get Akshay back on, and I'm gonna ask you one last question. And if you're okay with the audience interacting with you, uh, we could open the floor out to one or two questions, Manasvi. Would that work for you?
yes, yes, definitely. I would love to get more questions from
Okay.
the
Thank you,
audience.
Manasvi. So I'll get Akshay in because he's been waiting very patiently. And then I'll ask the audience if they have any questions for you. So Akshay, if you'd like to turn on your camera, I would like to spotlight you. Thank you. Welcome back. Akshay, and I know he was constantly, giving inputs on the side about the work that he's doing, and he's been encouraging Manasvi throughout. So thank you for that, Akshay. Okay, so I'm gonna just quickly ask both of you to talk about a beautiful initiative that you had a couple of months ago. I think it was in the month of July. Is that, if I'm right?
Yes.
Akshay, you're on.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yes.
I think if I start, that will be good.
Yeah,
So,
sure. You can start.
okay. So, first of all, me and Manasvi had come up with an initiative of hosting a music jamming session, which I would rather call it a showcase as well. And I would we had hosted this for persons with disabilities, persons with special needs. So I think coming up with this idea was essential, and we had to instill pride in a sense of pride in persons with disabilities. So I think Manasvi, I must give credit to Manasvi for making this idea possible. And I chose ISER as a venue because it's a very beautiful venue, and a lot of instruments were also available in the music room, and I could book it in advance as well, and yeah, and for free also.
Yes, and it was a lovely space.
Yeah, so and I must mention a big thanks to Nalini ma'am as well for gracing this occasion as the chief guest.
Yes, Nalini ma'am is here.
Who is fortunately here. So yeah, a big thank you, ma'am. And I think the regarding the idea of Disability Pride Month, I think Manasvi can give you a better idea about why this month was chosen. So I think Manasvi, can you mention the audience about the idea of Disability Pride Month, and why did you take this initiative to choose this particular month for the jamming session that we had hosted?
Okay. So basically, as I mentioned, so July is Disability Pride Month, and actually, yeah. When you might be hearing this now, you might think, okay, this is a foreign concept. Like we did not know about it. So that's exactly what we want to change. Like that's at least that's what I would also, especially, like I would love to change, because I see this stuff happening a lot in other countries as well. And what's going on about it in India? Basically nothing. I've not really heard about anything. Like when people think of celebrating disability Pride Month, they think of, like, just small things. Oh yeah, I'll just post, I'll just make some posts about it. Like just talking about the history and stuff. No, I want to do something memorable to commemorate this occasion. So yes, Akshay, you can please show the Disability Pride flag. Talking about the history of Disability Pride Month. I had spoken about how I had spoken about like the flag's meaning and stuff, and basically the reason why it's called Disability Pride is because, like, because we've had to overcome so much struggle, and we're so proud of who we are today, and how we've become, and how far we've come.
Absolutely.
And not just in terms of our personal experiences, but in terms of, like, in terms of how society is, like, like disabled people weren't allowed, like, education, and now it's like people don't really, like, people don't question it as much, or like, people don't question things much, and like, I mean, that's just one example, but like, just to see how far we've come, and like we faced so much discrimination in and stuff that like, people might think that disabled people are burden, and And that's why disabled people are like, so much like more likely to commit suicide and stuff. So that's why like the black the all the black in the disability pride flag represents like like the mourning of disabled people who died due to all these ableist causes.
Right.
And so basically like when you think of pride, you might think of like queer pride and stuff, but like that has become so mainstream and so global, and not much has happened in terms of disability pride. Why can't disabled people also be celebrated instead of just being looked down upon?
Absolutely.
So that was my
That is so beautiful. And
reason for this.
I think I got goosebumps when you're talking about that, Manasvi. And it was so beautifully put. And yes, Akshay, you can share the disability flag if you'd like to. Oh, I think I have to give you screen share, right? Okay. Okay.
Yes, and I'll show you some photos as well.
Okay.
Because
Uh,
so I'll be sharing my screen now. Yeah.
yes,
So,
yes. Please go ahead.
so as you can see, yeah, this is the flag.
Yes, Akshay, we can see it.
Yeah, so this is the flag of the disability pride. So as Manasvi mentioned, she mentioned about this black background, I think. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. So and then yeah, now I'll be showing you the post which Vidya Valley had, some highlights of the Vidya Valley. You're able to see it, right?
Yes, Akshay.
Yeah, here are some of the highlights. So really, it's been an initiative of these people. We were able to put up a show of 2.5 hours, starting from including the introduction and the speeches from 5:30 all the way. We took it up to a 8:15.
And every moment was exciting. I was there, so I can vouch for that.
Yeah, and really, I would give a lot of credit to all those who supported us, starting from ISER to everyone in the technicals, whoever I had invited for support.
Thank you for that, Akshay.
So this was the official post from Vidya Valley as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, thank you so much, Vidya Valley, for this wonderful opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you, Akshay. So
I just unmuted. I don't know if you can hear me.
Yes.
May
Yes, ma'am, we can.
I spotlight you, ma'am, but your video is off, or you can just talk.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see me now.
Maybe you'll have to reverse. You'll have to reverse the camera.
Reverse the camera.
Sorry, Akshay and Manasvi, I need your help for that. But
Yes.
if I'm not interrupting, I would just like to say congratulations to these two youngsters for their maturity,
yes,
their practical sense, and their desire to enlighten all of us, whether we are principals or teachers or children. These two have taken it on. And I think it is our duty to see that we give them space, time, and inclusivity.
Yes.
So thank you, Akshay, and thank you, Manasvi.
Yeah.
Akshay plays the piano beautifully and Manasvi sings. So I hope you will do that before you end. But thank you so much.
Yeah. Okay. Actually, I play the drums. Yeah. Manasvi does both. Yeah. Piano and sing. Yeah. Just to clarify. Yeah. So, yeah.
Yes. He's a drummer. He's learned percussion at Vidya Valley and taken it up and made it almost like a career along with his marvelous academics. So congratulations to you.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Manasvi. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry I'm not able to turn around my camera.
Thank you, ma'am.
No issues, ma'am.
All right. Thank you, ma'am. Would anyone, maybe, I know we've gone a little over time, Manasvi and Akshay. I apologize for that, but I think, talking to the two of you has been so gripping that, I think we just lost track of time. Maybe we could have one or two questions from the audience, or anything, questions or comments, or if anyone would like to share something.
Yeah, I think, what I wanted to mention is I had also put up some links in the chat of what I do, sing and perform. Yeah, that's what I've put in the chat. I've put.
Thank you, Akshay. I've also actually shared Manasvi's Spotify. Oh, I think I directly messaged. Okay, I will also send it on the chat. I think I direct messaged it. So if anyone would like to share last few words or a question, I think Ashmita, I think, had a couple of things that she wanted to ask. Would you like to come back and...
Yeah, I can go on talking for another 5 hours, but unfortunately, I don't think everybody would have that bandwidth. But I would like anybody else to ask the question first. Aishwarya, Ankit, if you all have something to, pop in, because I spoke the first time. If anybody else wants to share, please go first, and then I will, and then I can add.
No, your questions are amazing, Ashmita. It generally covers what. Yes, sorry.
Okay, sorry. Ankit and Aishwarya, would it be okay if I just spotlighted the two of you as well, just for everyone to know that this is our team of Beyond Differences, and we've been trying to we want to basically build awareness about inclusion and special education, and we keep having these interactions. So if I have your permission, Ankit and
sure.
I want everyone to know who the team is, because I'm the only one otherwise being seen. I don't know where Aishwarya is. Is she here? Aishwarya, I can't see you.
She dropped off.
I think Aishwarya dropped off.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, but anyway, so Ankit, Ashmita, Aishwarya, and myself are a team, and we call ourselves Beyond Differences. It's a community of practice where we work towards spreading awareness about inclusion and special education. We're working on creating a sort of a pilot project and research to help low income schools. So hopefully we're keeping our fingers crossed that we'll be able to achieve our goal. But in the meanwhile, we keep having these interactions, and I'm really, really grateful to Akshay and Manasvi for taking time out to talk to us today. Please, over to you, Ashmita.
No, Ashmita, please go ahead with your question.
You're just being lazy, Ankit.
Maybe.
No, so very nice. Manasvi, I had the opportunity to talk to Akshay earlier before you joined in. And like Karishma said, that we've just started this journey, on wanting to create a difference in the society. And I think we've not even taken 5 steps, and this is our second round of interaction. And I feel there is so much to learn from each of you. Last time we had a dyslexic student, and this time it's the both of you. To be very honest, it just makes me feel that we've been living a different life, a little shallow life, because the learning that I've got now after listening to Akshay and Manasvi, it's very in depth. And I think Karishma, it really energizes us to want to do this, quickly and to start off. And I think it's giving us a direction of really putting yourself in another person's shoe, thinking, and then taking action. So I think that's something that is, like, I feel personally that's really missing in the society, because after COVID also, everybody is just wanting to do things which suit themselves. They're not really thinking from the other person's perspective as much. So Manasvi, hats off to you. I loved what you shared. And I make notes because I have a memory of a fish and I forget what good things I hear. So one of the things you mentioned was that I changed from being introvert to extrovert as per the situation and as per the people. And I think this in itself is a very big skill. And at the age of 40, I'm still learning how to do it. It's not easy. Yeah, I always have my foot in my mouth, especially at work, because I cannot control what I'm talking. So that's really nice that you can shift that perspective and be when you want to be an extrovert and be an introvert. And I think you know yourself very well.
I'm also like, I am someone who was like either very quiet, like so quiet that people almost forget I'm there, or I'm like, or I talk a lot. I'm like that.
Yeah. True, very true. And I think, it's but I think people sometimes feel, oh, she's quiet, ये चुप बैठी है तो ये introvert है, ये shy है. That's really not the situation now, because now I think people are understanding different personalities. So when I have students who are year 7, year 8, so between the age range of 10 to 12 years, when your personality is already set in, right? So वो बच्चा नई बात कर रहा है, तो we don't pressurize the child. He doesn't want to make friends. To a certain extent, you encourage, but after 3 years, 4 years, you will understand that that is the inherent personality of the child. So it's not really he's being shy or he's being rude or blunt, anything like that. So this skill to shift from being introvert to extrovert, Manasvi, is a big thing, and that just goes out to show that you know yourself so very well. But the killer of the conversation, the last question, what Akshay and Manasvi all shared, was about the disability pride. And it's put, the word pride for me in a completely different perspective. Because of late, yes, we kind of hear the word pride normally in just one context, and the whole world is talking about it, which has gone from a four letter to a 6-7 letter acronym that we are using now. But the word disability pride that you all mentioned today is so heartwarming. I love the flag. I've made a note of the links of the video links that Akshay you shared, and Manasvi your song as well. I am definitely going to go back and hear it, and this is really empowering to hear, because tomorrow in my school, we are celebrating Dyslexia Awareness Campaign, Thursday and Friday, both the days. So I'm quite passionate about this. So I make a video. There are activities that are going out there that kids are doing. And Manasvi, you rightly said that, this is a day, and people just post something on social media, but that's not it. The thing is about doing something. The thing is about, making kids do something. So even the activity that we've planned is where there is little text, on a worksheet, which is how a dyslexic student would read. So it's a campaign that is run by the students for the students.
That's amazing.
Thank you so much. This is, so it just it validates what we are doing. Because we are in the special ed industry, and it's come a long way in the last so many years. So with you all telling us, with Akshay give me advices on how parents can be supportive, of how teachers can be supportive of people with disabilities, and then I have my dyslexic students, my autistic students in the children, who are making posters today by saying, there is strength in the differences. So these are hashtag lines that they've made on the poster. There's strength in the differences, that dyslexia is not a disability. It is it's just looking at things from a different perspective, because your brain processes things differently. And then of course, when you look at the whole globe, there are so many famous failures. There's a beautiful video on YouTube, which I always go back to, Famous Failures, which talks about the different famous personalities who've been through failures. So, there is Eminem, there are various Bollywood personalities, there are athletes involved. So it's really, really nice. And both your puns, I think your figurative language is very nice. You're humorous when you talk. When Manasvi, you also said that pun fully intended, pun not intended, we are left in the dark. So I was amazed, at how, and I think Akshay earlier also mentioned something where I think I wrote, but I can't really find it now, but something he mentioned, but this is really inspiring, and thank you so much. So my questions were kind of answered earlier. I don't have any specific questions, but I just wanted to share that, how you've made me smile today. And I left a corporate banking job to become a special educator. And I feel, yes, this is probably where I'm supposed to be, because I'm hearing from you what I am trying to implement in the school and in the society. So I feel this is what the society needs right now. And thank you so much.
Thank you, Ashmita.
Thank you so much
for sharing, and all the best for your event tomorrow. it's these two children, we feel so much pride that these two children passed through Vidya Valley and taught each one of us how to befriend them and learn from them. So thank you, the two kids. And thank you, Karishma.
Thank you, Miss. It's really inspiring because my first batch of students who were all special kids, one is on Instagram now. He's running 3 handles on Instagram. He runs a boutique, he runs a bakery shop, he doodles, he sells his products. I buy things from him in Bombay and I bring them to Dubai and I gift it over here. So they are mugs, they are coasters, they are t-shirts, they are handbags, cholas. During COVID, he went all masks, mobile covers, so and I taught him when he was 12, 13 years, and now he's a young man of 22, 23 years, running 3 Insta handles, earning, I'm sure I'm earning more than me, as an educator. So Miss Sengupta, when you talk about these two being bright, that this is what the society is coming to, because they are making a place for themselves in the society and they are fighting for it. They are fighting to, with their effort, with their awareness. They're building so much around, and they're all independently they're earning, they're living. Akshay mentioned he's doing most of his daily chores all by himself, and this was unheard of 10 years ago.
Quite right. And it's our job to support them and promote them, actually.
And market them also. I market them also.
We have one of our students who's doing her PR at Marriott. She has CP and she's been given a job there. So congratulations to Marriott also for, giving opportunities to people like Akshay and Manasvi. So thank you.
Thank you very much, Manasvi, Akshay, and also Ashmita, Ankit, Karishma, and Aishwarya, who's not here. This has been a very, very meaningful and informative and inspiring interaction. Wish you all the best. And we've had the pleasure of hearing Manasvi and Akshay live during their performance. And Ankit, you must have been there. And Karishma, thank you. Thank you, Ashmita. We look forward to the next, and we will help promote all this. I think it's very close to the heart. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Definitely. So Karishma, are we hearing something live from them today before we leave? Like just a small snippet?
I'll have to ask them. Manasvi, Akshay, would you be comfortable maybe, I don't know, singing something for us and playing something for us?
I don't have a piano or a keyboard in the room where I'm currently sitting right now, but I could.
Could you hum something if that's possible?
Yes, sure. If there are any suggestions of songs.
Your favorite song?
Okay.
Akshay wants to
play on the table. Play the drums on the table.
Yeah, Akshay, let's think out of the box.
Yeah.
Akshay, or do you want like a quick minute? I don't know if you're
It's actually late, Karishma. It's almost it's way over our time. We may not have time for that.
Right.
So
I can sing something. I can sing a little something.
I think song,
Yeah, but I think as I promised, I have already sent some video links, but I think we should respect the time as well. So yeah, that will be good.
Okay, so Manasvi, we're going to give you a couple of minutes and then we will end. Yes?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Okay. So
sorry, she got frozen, or I can't.
I think Manasvi froze. Okay.
It's okay. We'll give her a few seconds.
Yeah. Okay, Akshay, I know that you're a little worried about the time. Just another 2 minutes. Is that okay with you?
Yes, that's fine.
I think
Manasvi, I think,
has some internet issues right at this point only.
I'm so sorry. I reflect and I felt that I blabbered earlier after Manasvi finished. I'm so sorry.
No problem at all. I don't know what I'll just pause the recording. Okay. All yours, Manasvi.
Okay, so so I'm singing the first song that comes to mind. Maybe some of you might think it's cliche or something, but like, because this is the first song that came to mind right now, just now when you.
Please go ahead.
Okay, but I'm sure like all of you know this song. So like that, there's not one person here who probably cannot sing it or hasn't tried singing it in the shower. So I hope you enjoy.
Thank you.
मुझको इतना बताए कोई, कैसे तुझसे दिल ना लगाए कोई, रब्बा ने तुझको बनाने में कर दिए हुस्न की खाली थी चोरिया, काजल की सियाही से लिखी है तूने जाने कितनों की लव स्टोरिया, केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया, रंग जाऊं जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं तुम बीते सारा तेरे फिक्र में, रहना सारी तेरी हैर बनाऊं, केसरिया तेरा इश्क है पिया, रंग जो मैं हाथ लगाऊं तुम भी दे सारा तेरे फिक्र में, रहना सारी तेरी खैर मनाऊं. Yeah, that's Kesariya. I'm sure you guys.
Wow. I think everyone can just unmute and say something.
It was beautiful. That is definitely the kind as well.
Amazing.
Very well.
Amazing. Awesome.
Very
Thank you,
nice.
Manasvi.
Amazing,
Our
Manasvi.
favorite song.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
Loved it.
Thank you.
All right. On this beautiful note, I'd like to close today's interview, if that's all right with everybody. I think, yes, I've taken a lot of time from Manasvi and Akshay. Really, really appreciate both of you. And thank you, everyone in the audience, for being here with us. I think it really motivates us, to keep these interactions going. And yes, the recording will be made available, so I shall share that very soon. So thank you. Maybe we could do a quick photo if everyone's okay. I'll just stop the recording.
Yes.